I was selected the first Zimbabwean to become a faculty member for Deloitte University. Was based in Brussels, but is now based in France. And I had the opportunity to travel to Brussels, France, to facilitate training to employees from all over Europe, Middle East, and Africa, all because of Toastmasters.
Hello, dear listeners. It is CoachBusi on ToastTalks. Have you liked this channel? Have you subscribed? We are rolling on to 100 recordings. You don't want to miss a single one. Today, I have the pleasure of having a Toastmaster who I have known for a little while. All the time that I've been in Toastmasters, I had actually known of this particular Toastmaster. She is calm, she's collected, and she's a rock star Toastmaster. Who do we have the pleasure of having on Toast Talks today? None other but DTM Rudo. DTM Rudo, hello and welcome to Toast Talks with CoachBusi. How are you, ma'am?
Hello, Coach Busi. Absolute honor for me to be here. I am doing amazing. Thank you.
Tell me, what is your Toastmaster story, DTM Rudo? When did it start? What club were you in? Just take us on this journey and let's get to know you better.
Thank you, Coach Busi. So my Toastmaster story started in 2018. The corporate that I was working for decided to bring Toastmasters to our doorsteps by starting a corporate club. Now, they sent out an email to all staff and they said, all those who want to join, please can you respond by a certain date? I desperately wanted to join Toastmasters, but at the same time, I was so terrified, learning to speak in public, being vulnerable before your colleagues. If you make a mistake, how are you going to walk the corridors at work? And so I stalled and I waited, and the deadline came and it went. They extended that deadline. I stalled some more. And the extension came and it went. And only 2 weeks after the extension deadline, I decided to just respond by email. And I was hoping they would say to me, oh, sorry, Rudo, it's too late, but we would have loved to have you as a member. And my horror, they welcomed me with open arms. And I was like, oh boy, it's done. There is no going back. And so that is how my Toastmasters story began in September 2018. The bug bit then, and I have not looked back.
Whoa, I love that story because I am sure there are a lot of people who are busy following these conversations and thinking, maybe I will hop on. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Should. Now that bug, what I know is once it gets a hold of you, you are a goner. So, dear listeners,
Goner.
We are just giving you advance warning, but it is such a beautiful, fun space to be in. Tell me your favorite Toastmaster moments, Toastmaster Rudo.
My favorite Toastmaster moment was the first time I took on the role of Toastmaster of the Day. Coach Busi, it took me a whole year to gather the courage to become a Toastmaster of the Day. And it was during that meeting and during that whole process that I developed a love for emceeing functions, emceeing meetings, emceeing events. And what I loved about Toastmasters and still love about it is it's a supportive learning environment. if you make mistakes, they correct you and they correct you well. They give you great feedback. And so you have that courage to move on to the next role and to the next step and so forth. And there's never a shortage of learning platforms or learning of roles within Toastmasters.
Tell me, how has being a Toastmaster enhanced your position? Has it made it easier in your role? Talk us through the benefits and what you see, how you marry the two.
Toastmasters has changed my life. This is what I tell people all the time. I remember years ago when my role in my current organization was for me to go out to universities and to high schools to speak to students about joining the firm as articled clerks. Now, I remember there I was, a grown adult, shaking in my boots while standing before 16-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. And it was really quite embarrassing. Mm-hmm. And I knew I had to do something about my speaking skills and my fear of public speaking. So since I joined Toastmasters, I do a lot of presentations now. I do not shake in my boots. I have gained so much confidence, and I am now doing presentations to executives and boards of directors and so forth. And also the highlight of my career was, I think it was in 2023, after I'd been a Toastmasters Leadership Institute facilitator for about a year, I was selected to become the first Zimbabwean to become a faculty member for Deloitte University, which was based in Brussels, but is now based in France. And I had the opportunity to travel to Brussels, to travel to France, and to facilitate training to employees from all over Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And it's all because of Toastmasters. Ooh. So it's absolutely changed my life.
That is a story and a half. I did not know that. I can imagine. Now, when you look back at the subscription, because a lot of people come back to me and they're like, oh, but you know what? At that time it was 45, it's now 60. But it boils down to $10 a month. Where in your thought process would you ever have considered that paying $10 a month could have put you in a position to travel and do what you did?
Toastmasters is a steal, I tell you. $60 for 6 months. I sincerely hope Toastmasters does not increase those subs, but you gain so much more from that $60. Even if you look at corporate trainings or even some degree programs and so forth, you will never get anything for as little as $60. And it's a worthwhile investment. It's just a couple of pizzas a month. And then you've got the door open to so many learning platforms, to networks, to growth, to development within Toastmasters. Absolutely worth it.
So why do you think some people, even Toastmasters, why do you think they are not seeing what you and I are seeing? They are not as excited as you and I. What do you think is the difference?
I think what the difference is, when you know the value of Toastmasters, that's when you will see the difference. And also when you see how Toastmasters has impacted your life and has impacted other people's lives, that's when you'll get to see the value. But if you have not experienced that for yourself, it is very difficult for you to see the value, and you'll just be complaining, oh my goodness, $60 every 6 months. But I have seen the value, and for me, that $60 is even way, way, way too little for the benefits that I have derived from Toastmasters.
I am absolutely with you. I'll throw another thought that I have about people who don't see the value. Toastmasters, if you don't work the program, there's no way you're going to see anything. You are DTM. There were lots of things that you needed to do to get that accolade of Distinguished Toastmaster Rudo. Now, there are people who have been around the organization longer than you who have not attained that level. Tell me about the work and the philosophy and the thought process required for someone to be a winning, benefiting Toastmaster.
So before I answer that question, let me tell you a backstory. So when I first joined Toastmasters, DTM coach Dorothy was the division director at the time. And I had no idea what the term DTM meant. I just thought that if you've been a Toastmaster for a long time, you are then automatically referred to as a distinguished Toastmaster. And I had such admiration for DTM coach Dorothy. She was this empathic leader. She was passionate about Toastmasters. She validated everybody around her. And I said, I'm going to be a distinguished Toastmaster. I had no idea what it meant at the time. And so my goal when I joined was to be a distinguished Toastmaster. It was only when I then got involved that I discovered that no. You have to earn this title. It's not something that is just given willy-nilly. And so there was a lot of work that had to go into it. And because that was my goal from the beginning, it was very easy for me to keep my focus as to where I wanted to go. The journey was by no means easy. It was a lot of work. I had to do a lot of work. And the most challenging time was when I was area director, but it was also the time that I grew the most as a leader. And I have no regrets whatsoever. So yes, it was a lot of work. It was worth it. And yes, I would do it over again because the person that I was 6 years ago and the person that I am now, totally different. I can't even recognize my former self now.
Wow.
Not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful to hear. And you are so right. DTM Rudo, as passionate as we are about Toastmasters, what do you foresee in the next 100 years? Do you think that this organization is going to survive? Do you think that there is enough depth and value for continuity? When people ask about who your heroes are, Dr. Ralph Smedley for me just stands out because I look at where it started, how it evolved, how it was just boys, and then we got to be involved. And now it's this well-rounded machine, spanning over countries and continents. What are your thoughts about the continuity of Toastmasters?
I think Toastmasters is going to be even more in demand as we get into, well, we already are in the age of AI and technology. But something that AI does not have is the emotions. It does not have the soft skills. And, I was reading an article on LinkedIn the other day, and they are saying that soft skills are the latest and newest superpower that every single person needs to have. And with Toastmasters, you are learning every single one of those skills. Talk about leadership, talk about time management, talk about presentation skills, talk about teamwork. Well, we don't have the whole evening, but I could go on and on and on about the soft skills that you can learn through Toastmasters. So Toastmasters, it will continue to be in demand, I believe.
And I think you are Absolutely correct. Not only in demand, but like you said, more so. The depth of where we're going now. We now in a world where people really look at themselves more. So a person who can come and connect and engage with you on a level that a lot of people cannot, that's a superpower nobody can ever take from you. And you know where we do that really well?
Toastmasters.
There you go. I mean, Toastmasters right now is such a flex because whether you wear the badge that says I'm a Toastmaster, your demure and everything about you gets people asking you, what is it about you? So when you said you couldn't recognize yourself from 5, 6 years ago, imagine the people who knew you 5, 6 years ago. They definitely will want to know. And what happened to you?
You know, it's interesting that you say that, CoachBusi. I was in a meeting with one of the leaders in my organization, and they said to me, Rudo, how long have you been with the firm? And I said, I've been with the firm for about 20 years. And he said something interesting. He says, but you know, we've only started to notice you in the past 5 years or so.
Wow.
And what happened in the past 5 years? That's when I joined Toastmasters.
Wow. Now that is a testament to the benefits of this organization. 20 years and you only noticed 5. Okay, can we just stop about the $60? People pay $60, put aside $10 a month and get recognized. And when you're not recognized in a work situation and you're running your own business, $60. I beg you, take yourself seriously.
Yeah,
Rudo,
well worth it.
You and I could go on and on. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to pick a table topic of your own choice. Give us a 2-minute speech about anything.
Well, I'm just going to speak from my heart. I am one person who is absolutely passionate about soft skills. And as I've mentioned already, those are skills that I really developed through Toastmasters. Years back when I was working in recruitment, I used to come across CVs where the student or the candidate has got straight A's and a first class degree and so forth. But when they come into the interview, they can barely communicate. And what is on the CV and the person before you are worlds apart. And at times, because they failed to articulate their thoughts or their ideas, sometimes it costs them a job. So soft skills are absolutely important, not just in the work environment, in families, with your partners, your spouses, your children, and also even with employees. And CoachBusi, one thing I learned through the feedback aspect of Toastmasters, it's something that I use when I do performance appraisals with my team at work. Say what they have done well, put in what they need to develop, and then end off with something that they're doing well. And that is motivating to the team members and it's motivating to anyone. Soft skills, absolutely important and critical to anybody in any setting whatsoever.
Yeah. So, can we repeat? Parents, come to Toastmasters. Teachers, come to Toastmasters. Nurses, come to Toastmasters. Doctors, please tell us that we are on our last year in a way that makes us think, I'm going to make this the best year, not in a way that says, oh, I'm already dead.
Absolutely.
Come to Toastmasters.
Absolutely.
Come to Toastmasters. DTM Rudo, thank you. I've learned about social scientists. I am going to go and research a bit more on that. Very interesting. And I've learned so much more about you. I knew this was going to be a very interesting conversation. You just took it 2 notches higher than my expectation. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for coming on. And I wish you nothing but the best as you carry on with your Toastmasters journey and everything else.
Thank you so much, DTM Coach Busi. It's been an honor, absolute pleasure, and wonderful chatting with you.
Awesome, dear listeners. Until the next time, when I bring somebody else who is interesting, exciting, knowledgeable, and with a story you definitely want to hear. This is DTM Rudo and Coach Busi signing out. Until the next time, bye-bye.